Hello, my name is Juliana Castellanos, and my presentation is called Journalism in Investigate Journalism in Colombia. The subject of this presentation is part of my life. Um, I will speak about investigate journalism. My career has been around the journalist. Ever since I was 12 years old, I wanted to be a journalist. And what is important investigate journalism? It's important because it's key in democracies. There is no democracy without press freedom. And the key words for this presentation are investigate journalists, democratic countries, and public power. What is the investigate journalism? Investigate journalism reveals what others want to hide and is responsible for monitoring public power. This point is important. I think in one example. In this moment, the most famous investigation is Panama Papers. Journalists from many countries work to reveal the accounts of presidents, politicians, and businessmen in tax havens. Um, yes, I think tax haven is a paraíso fiscal. Yes. Um, the other answer for the question is it also saves lives because a report can stop criminals. It's important. I think the answer two is the K. Yes. For example, in Colombia, journalists reveal falsos positivos. It was terrible, but what they discovered, um, but it was important because the criminal stopped it. And how may investigate journalism? It's important for people to know how investigate journalism is done. Okay, I write 5 steps. One, the journalist builds a question. Uh, but it's important because the journalist write a complex questions. It is not a basic question because it's about society and its problems. Uh, Two, the journalist interviews a lot of people. It's important because the journalist uh, looking for answer the important questions. Three, the journalists get official documents. This is very important. When you are a journalist, you read a lot of documents and you need a lot of yes documents. Four, the journalists review all the material. Um, and the end, the journalists write a report or an investigation. Authors from Colombia or journalists from Colombia. I select 3 important journalists. Their careers are marked by investigate journalism. They are María Jimena Duzán, Ricardo Calderón, and Daniel Coronel. María Jimena Duzán is a very important and famous journalist. She worked in Semana. Semana is a very important magazine. It's a politician magazine. Sorry, a politic magazine. And in this moment, Maria Jimena is freelance journalist. The other important and very important journalist is Ricardo Calderón. He worked in Semana, like Maria Jimena Duzán, but in this moment, Ricardo Calderón worked in Caracol TV. Ricardo Calderón is a very important journalist. I think in one example. Uh, Example and case important. 10 or 20 years ago, after an investigation by Calderón, El DAS in Colombia had to be closed. The president of the time had no other possibility. Uh, this case is very important in in the history of journalism. And the other journalist is Daniel Coronel. He's a very important, famous. Um, in this moment, he's a director of Univision News. Other authors from other countries. Um, Carmen Aristegui from Mexico. She's famous in Mexico and Latin America because she has a magazine in CNN, a very important magazine, or a very important program, TV. The other journalist is Hugo Alconada. He is from Argentina. In this country, he worked in a newspaper. Jorge Volpi is from Mexico. He's a writer and is very famous because his books are very important. And the other journalist is Oscar Martinez. He is from El Salvador and he worked in El Faro. El Faro is a very important digital media. And in this moment, what is the problem about investigate journalism? Journalists are killed for telling the truth in Latin America and in the world. This graph shows the situation in the world for 24 years. You can see 2012 and 2014, they was a terrible years. Yes, 2 years was terrible for the journalists investigate. And what are solutions? I think in two solutions. I think two solutions are important. One, governments must investigate who killed journalists. And two, media should invest more resources in protection for journalists. And my conclusions. One, investigate journalism is important for democracies. Two, investigate journalism is important because it defends human rights. I say in the other slide, journalists save lives, and this is the key. Three, conclusion, investigate journalism expose problems that others want to hide. And the end, government and media must protect journalists' lives. And if you want to know more about investigative journalism, I recommend these books. Jorge Volpi write Una novela criminal. It's a very interesting investigative journalism. Daniel Coronel write Los Niños del Amazonas. I forget one idea important. This book is about Mexico problem. Los Niños del Amazonas is about Colombia problem, and La Casa Blanca de Peña Nieto was written by Carmen Aristegui, and it's a very important and interesting book. Um, Thank you for your attention.